Okay. All right. Can you hear me all right? Fantastic. All right. We're just chatting for a second. I'm going to get a couple levels. If you can give me a count from one, I'll let you know before we record, but give me a count from 1 to 10 and then say your first and last name. Okay. Hang on 1 second. Sounds good to me on my end. All right. I'm set on my end, but thanks so much. I'm living vicariously through, and I'm going to say that too, because your social media. Uh, I thought I had, an insane schedule. You, so we're going to jump right into those type of things because, I'm a fan of yours and we'll talk, but is there any questions? This is very casual conversation, by the way. Is there any questions on your end? Okay. I'm going to plug your book, of course. Available on all possible platforms, I'm assuming. Amazon, bookstores. Okay, great, great. In which, awesome. Okay, very good. I will make sure of that. So what we do is, once it's recorded, it'll go into a queue of when it will air, and then on social media, on my site, I will actually have a description of the podcast. You can listen on my podcast. I'm sorry, on my site. But of course, somebody can pick it up on iTunes, Spotify, and all that stuff. But on my site, we put more information, and I'll put a link to your site on there. Oh no, absolutely. Of course, you're a perfect fit for this because not only extremely talented, but it's, you get the idea of mindset. You know that, you know me from doing my comedy show, but most of what I do is on a corporate sector. I speak to companies around the world on mindset, and I teach this technique. I've been doing it for now 32 years. The show is secondary almost now because my motivational program, my clients are AT&T, Boeing, just, Dell. So yeah, in fact, yeah, and tomorrow I'm working. I can't say it yet, but I will tell you next week. You'll get an email. I'm working with the national baseball team tomorrow during spring training. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. So, but that's where the podcast all started because of my clients wanting more, and I thought, well, this would be kind of a cool thing, and now it's blowing up, and it's great. So let's just go into it. What I do is I do the interview, and then I'll go back, and if you have an intro you would like me to actually do before this, or I was just going to take some copy from your bio, and I usually read that before the interview. But I do that after I do the interview. I kind of go back and mull over it in a little bit and bring some of the things that bring some, more about you, and then I record that after. If you have something you would like me to introduce you, a standard copy, please send that to me. If not, I'll create something. Yeah, perfect. I would rather do exactly the way you prefer to be introduced. And then what I will need is the headshot you would like to promote on social media. And I thought maybe we can even put the book in there. Maybe if you could send me a book image, I'm wondering if we can kind of promote the book also in that. Hmm. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's fine. Send me whatever because I'll just give it to my graphics guy and say, listen, here's sizing, fit this in because I want to promote his book. So, oh no, thank you. All right, well I'm going to start asking you things now. So I want to jump right into the conversation. So we're going to pause for a second, and then I'm just going to introduce you. Just a quick one, and I'm going to say it, practice it because I've heard you now say it again, and I've heard people pronounce your name probably wrong. Alton. Yes, it's Alton Fitzgerald White. Okay. I will just go pause for a second, and I'm going to say Alton Fitzgerald White, welcome to the program. Alton Fitzgerald, excuse me. That's a way to start. Alton Fitzgerald White, welcome to the program. Well, not only am I excited that I have your attention for this 30-minute podcast, but the cool thing is that I'm amazed. I thought I had a crazy schedule. You go from project to project, and as I told you off air, I'm living vicariously through your social media photos, and as I'm doing more background on you, I'm like, wow, I'm just, this is really cool. So if you're just listening to the podcast, first of all, to all of our listeners, thank you for listening. And if you love this stuff, please subscribe, follow, because every week I strive for amazing guests, and we have one. We've got them. Well, you are, no, my pleasure. You're an extremely talented actor, singer, performer, dancer, by the way. Um, but as I say, now a writer. Your book, which is it's awesome, it's fantastic. My Pride: Mastering Life's Daily Performance. Available. Sure, we're going to plug it now. Available of all platforms. You can get it online, and you can get a signed copy, a direct signed copy from you on your website. That's that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, as listeners know who you are and your incredible accolades from, again, from Miss Saigon to, The Color Purple, to Ragtime, and of course my all-time favorite, The Lion King. Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna just get this out there: 4,308 performances. Well, and it showed in your performance. It showed who you were, and every time was fresh. And it was like, you know, the first time you were doing it, or this is going to be the best time I'm going to do it. And it goes back. I mean, I mentioned a couple Broadway shows, but also there's the who the yes, exactly, Smoke Joe's Cafe, and before that there was Tommy from, right, yeah. So which we're going to get into a deeper conversation in this podcast, because that's what I wanted to talk to you about. But I want to go back to, where this all started before. What was your passion to get into Broadway, to be an actor? Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Right. Right. Because we work really hard at putting off, our skills, our performance, our knowledge, our preparation is all in that performance itself. And I know we're talking about the live performance, but you have incredible accolades from television and film too. I don't want to discredit, because I know we started talking about that too, but you really have put yourself out there, and which is great. You're not staying in one market. You know, you never know what's going to happen with you, because which is, again, I follow you on social media, and it's just amazing to me. You went from you were just in Rent, the live performance of Rent on TV, yeah, which is still live, but it's still TV, a totally different venue, obviously, than working a stage somewhere. So you had to work with not only a live audience, but you had camera angles and everything else involved with. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's what I tell a lot of C-suite executives on a regular basis, even sales individuals, sales leaders, people that are, if I'm speaking to 5,000 sales teams, or it amazes me how much they ask me that question, or they will get to that answer about, it's about preparation. The nervousness that you have, the fears you have, the doubt you have, can really melt away once you prepare yourself. And you just validated it again. I think the average person doesn't realize. Again, I think they do, but 7 weeks, the hours, the sitting around, the waiting, the memorizing, the not only the words, the passion of the character that you prepare, but you got to remember blocking now, and you got to remember not to get in the way of another actor or even a prop. Yes, and this is what I. Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you would think the average person watching that show live, which I did, and here's this incredible masterpiece now coming to me, in my own home. I'm watching it, and they did such a great job of it. And you would think, wow, what's he doing now? That it's over. I bet she's going to sleep really well tonight, and he's going to take off the next couple of days. No, not you. No, no. Yeah. I know. And then what's crazy is that so you got there and now you got this time difference. How was it? How long was it before you were performing? Yes. That's amazing to me that you just got off. And I say that, but maybe I had a show one time in Singapore, and very similar. I spent more time, 25 hours trying to get there, did it, and then I left. Literally didn't even stick around, but 10 hours to see the city. But yeah, I have to commend you for your constant, drive to want to do something different, want to grow who you are, and not settle. A lot of people would have retired after doing, 4,308 shows. Okay, not, yeah. Hmm. Right, right. I know yeah, I know a CEO. I've known him for a long time, and in casual conversation, he revealed to me, oh, he's a drummer and he plays in a band. I go, really? Seriously? He goes, yeah, this is my passion. I love doing this. And I play all different events. Nobody knows that I'm in the back and who I am. And it gives me this ability to really shine at what I've always loved to do. And it's not, for him, it's not even about the money now. It's just about the talent. Hmm. Absolutely. Well, you touched on something a second ago. I want to go back to it because this goes hand in hand. So, if you're in business, whether you're an entrepreneur, if you're a leader, if you're a salesperson, or even in customer service, you touched on a subject of not staying at the same level all the time, taking yourself, looking for that next step because that's what you do. And that's, if you go to from your website and your accolades, and you're always looking for to expand. Now a writer, now a speaker. I bet you 5, 10 years ago you didn't even think about a book or speaking in front of public. Now look what's going on with you. Yeah. So doing TED. I saw your TED talk this morning. I mean, so I mean, again, these things you have to step outside your box, and that I believe that's for everybody, no matter what business you're in. Right. You just said my favorite. Yeah. No, go ahead. Uh, mhm. That's right. And now you're talking my language when we talk about mindfulness, and we run through life not practicing hobbies, not taking moments to breathe or just relax and clear our thoughts. And this is such a deeper conversation, but just hearing you say how important that is to you in your life is definitely a leading example, I believe, to other people too, as they follow you and they're fans of what you do, and knowing that you practice not only what you preach. And because I know as a speaker, you're really passionate about some very, very powerful, simple words. And one of the things that I learned about you actually this morning was this word that we use a lot that I almost feel like you gave a different definition to. And I want you to kind of dive into this a little bit because you use the word service. And when I think the average person hears that word, their perception or programming of it is a little bit different. I think you take it to the next level. Mhm. Mhm. Sure. Yes. Yes. There's a word, yeah, and there's a word just keeps popping up a lot in my past guests, and that's the word of purpose. And I find it fascinating that this is a very similar, synergetic, if you will, conversation about feeling as though you first of all that you're valued, that you're important, you have purpose as an individual, and you can grow. You can become better at what you do. Sure. No, I do. And let me ask you a question. Where, you know, obviously your passion was for acting and performing. Where did this personality of you come out as a teacher? Because these are strong words. Your book is fantastic. Your message is fantastic. You're an inspiration to youth groups, to corporate America, to any audience. You set such a diverse platform here. But where was the transition for you to start speaking about this and sharing? Hmm. Hmm. Wow. I'm fascinated by, as you're telling me this, that you'd also self-discovered, that you realized that inner voice was not just this talented actor, but trainer of the brain. Right. No, it's true. Hmm. Well, you've changed the lives of thousands of people, not only by your performances, but now by your writing and your teaching. It's well, yeah, very true. And your talents and over the years of doing what you do has shown you how to show others, and that is to me a very very powerful credit to yourself and to a lot of the people in these podcasts that I'm captured by is that not only are they really good at what they do, but they want to help other people become better by sharing their experiences. This is not just something I can do. You can do this. You can speak better. You can train better. You could sell better. You can lead better. You could be a better person, a better spouse, a better significant, friend, somebody that's really you're caring about. Maybe you could be a better listener. And I think that just hearing you speak about it, because you and I both met people over the years that are really talented, and then when they walk off stage, or they walk off platform, or they walk off set, you really don't want to be with them. But you love their talent on stage, what they do. But ah, yeah, what a good, yeah. And there are characters that you play, and that they're characters. That's the way they're written. That's the way the director, the writer, they want you to be that person. Well, that's not who you are in your personal life. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Yeah. There you go. And that goes to corporate. That goes to a corporate person. When you check out in your home, family, loved ones, Yeah, I know it sounds easier than it sounds. You have to turn it off. You really do. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you're speaking my language again, because this is exactly what, for me, even when I walk off platform, even if it's a 9 o'clock in the morning, keynote presentation, or if it's a 10 o'clock at night performance, I go through this ritual of, okay, that was great, that was awesome, but let's figure out how we can make it better. Let's make some notes. This is my cooling down period. And again, this is what I talk to salespeople when you go meet with a client. Don't just rush off to the next email. Go back and were you really listening? Find something that helps you decompress or helps you become better. And there's like 3 different conversations there I could go into, but I wish we had more time, but we don't. But I want to take a few moments. What's next for you? Yes. Hmm. Wow. You're nonstop. You're nonstop. So I'm going to give another plug here. Brand new book, My Pride, Mastering Life's Daily Performance. If you want a signed copy, of course, go to the website, altonfitzgeraldwhite.com. I'll make sure that this is on my website as well. If you get a chance to see him live, he will not disappoint you. Every performance is like this masterpiece, and I will say it no matter what role he plays. It's really very compelling to watch you get into a role or just sing or speak. So you can check out some of your. Oh, excellent. And I know you do because I follow you, so I know that you're always online as much as I am. That's our meditation. Yeah, you do. Keep doing amazing performances, but also keep teaching what you teach, which is why I wanted to have you on the show from the very, very beginning. When I created this show, I started thinking about people, and then I knew about the book that was coming out. I'm like, oh, wow. And then I started following you even more and learning more about what you do and the great gift that you have. And I don't mean to be your biggest cheerleader right here, right now, but I am. And my pleasure. Keep doing great things. Thanks for being on the show. Stand by. Awesome. You're great, man. I mean, it's given. You're a pro. Um, I had so many more things I wanted. I could do a whole other show. We could just talk about TV shows. It's funny. I was actually in Orlando yesterday. Um, yeah, I was at the. I had a big corporate event at the Rosen Hotel Resort Golf, and I came back. I had something last night here in Atlanta, and I'm in Tampa tomorrow. So I love it. I still love it. Yeah. 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 It's true. I'm actually getting on. Yeah. Later next week, I'm getting on Disney Wonder for The Crossing. You know anybody on that? So I'm sure they have some. It's no, it's the Panama Canal. So I get on Friday of next week in Cartagena, then I get off in Puerto Vallarta, and literally what you just said, my wife's like, okay, when you come home the next morning, we're leaving for 2 days, because I saw on your calendar you have nothing going on. I go, okay, I just that's fine, just make it happen. But yeah, I agree. I agree. Crazy busy schedule. Thanks for your time. Thanks for what you do. I really got a kick out of watching more of your videos and YouTubes and the TED Talk this morning and reading more about, yeah, again, my family, we saw you live. I didn't know you personally then, but it was back when you were, in the show on Broadway. And yeah, no, we saw that before. We saw one of your performances. I am pretty sure I had checked. I think we still have the playbill from that. But that's how I think I realized you were there. Anyway, and then our friend Kara, told me you were on that day. And that's how I was like, wow, That's why I was like, I want to meet him. But anyway, thanks again for your time. I do appreciate it. Let's keep in touch. I will let you know when this is going to air, and then we'll just blow this up on social media and try and get as many people listening. Yes, please. Great. Bio and photos that we can use. That would be fantastic. And then I'll lead into it. I'll read that bio before I introduce you. And then I say the same thing at the very end. Welcome to the program. All right. Hey, thanks again. Safe travels. Okay. Bye-bye.